You could be filming in 4K, have the best location, the best lighting, the best editing, but if your audio sounds garbage or people can hear what you're saying, they're not going to stay watching. With the DJI Pocket 3, you can get the Creators Combo, and inside it, you're going to get the DJI wireless microphone, which I think is how most people are going to be recording sound with the DJI Pocket 3. So let's start with mic placement, because where you place your microphone is going to have a massive impact on how clear and professional your sound recording is. And I'm going to be assuming that the microphone is going to be recording a person's voice and not just some random sound. And with that in mind, in essence, the closer you put the microphone to your mouth or whatever it is that you're recording, the better it's gonna sound. I mean, it all boils down to that really. The further away the microphone is, the worse the sound quality you're gonna get, and the more room or environmental sound that you're gonna get recording the signal. If you record outdoors, you should always use the windshield or the fluffy that comes with the microphone, because it is really gonna help a lot in reducing or eliminating any wind noise. This is pretty much unusable. I would not want to be using this kind of audio. And this is the quality that you're gonna get if you use a wireless microphone. You can clearly hear the difference. As I pedal, you cannot hear any of that wind noise that you had before. If you don't use it, even the smallest breeze is gonna throw your audio and you're gonna get distortion. So yes, that hairy, funny looking bit of gear is very, very important. So the simplest thing to do is to clip the DJI mic onto your clothing, somewhere in the chest area, ideally not too far from your mouth, but not too close either, because otherwise you're gonna overload the microphone and get distortion. Somewhere between 6 to 18 inches or 15 to 45 centimeters from your mouth. You can just clip it and you're good to go. And obviously you are going to see the microphone on camera, and depending on what it is that you're doing and what it is that you're wearing, it might be a look that you are okay with. Also, the placement of the microphone is very important, because if you put it on the, let's say, the right side of a person, and then the person, as they're talking to camera, they turn to the left, the audio is gonna sound muffled, or at the very least, at a different volume and quality than the rest of the audio when the person's mouth was facing the microphone. You could place the microphone in the middle of the chest area, and that's gonna give you a bigger recording range. But always remember that the moment you turn away to either side, the sound quality is not gonna be as good as if you don't. And this is just one of over 70 lessons that you can find in my DJI Beginner to Pro course. And I teach you in just 14 days everything that you need to know to create stunning and professional looking videos. And I know that it might sound too good to be true, but if you follow my program, in less than 2 weeks, you're gonna be creating amazing looking videos for your YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or any social media platform or general content creation. And the best part is that the course costs less than that gym membership you never use. So if this is something interesting to you, I would love to see you inside. Click in the link below and I'll see you around. And the next step is if you want to hide the microphone, and I personally don't like to have the microphone displayed on camera unless there is no other way. I always like to keep things hidden. You could always use the magnet clip that comes with the microphone and place the microphone inside your shirt and clip it to the top. And obviously it all depends on what it is that you wear, because it's not the same to be wearing a loose button shirt than it is to have a slim fit t-shirt. But if you are serious about hiding the microphone, you're gonna need to use a lavalier microphone, because you can easily plug it to the transmitter and then you have a much smaller microphone that you can hide a lot better. You could use a live mic clip and clip it directly onto a tie or a shirt, pretty much as you see in news programs where the news anchor has a mic clipped onto the jacket or the tie. If the person is wearing a button shirt and you have a bit of time, you could try and carefully hide it inside the button area, away from view, or stick it behind a shirt collar. This all comes down to the amount of time that you actually have to do this, because it's not the same having 20 minutes to prepare for an interview than just a few seconds on the go. Personally, if I'm going to record audio of myself talking to a camera, I like to hide the microphone in the clothing, and more specifically in the collar of the shirt. But before you even get started with this method, the first thing that you need to do is to make sure that you fit the microphone inside a soft enclosure to avoid clothing rustle. You can use either foamies to fit the microphone carefully inside, or if your microphone manufacturer has a dedicated enclosure, like the ones that I use, the VT500. But most people, I would assume, will be using foamies or similar, and these are great because they give you enough cushion to hold the microphone secure in place, but just about enough so that it won't be rubbing with the clothing. When it comes to where you stick the microphone to, you can either stick it to your body or to the clothing. And I'm gonna start with sticking it to your chest area. And for that, you could use some medical tape, which is what I use. Some people use moleskin tape and just stick it to the chest and then literally just put the shirt or the clothing on and you are gonna be fine. The problem all men have, and that includes myself, is body hair. Because when you attach the microphone onto the skin, you want to make sure that that tape doesn't have any hair in between. And if you are someone that doesn't have much body hair, then that's great. But if you do, I can guarantee you that the tape is gonna fall off, and you don't want that halfway through a take. And it goes without saying that the tape that you use has to be skin friendly. Do not, and I mean do not, use gaffer tape or duct tape, because they're gonna rip your skin when you take it off because the glue is so strong. Trust me, you don't want to be pulling a strong duct tape off a hairy chest because that's gonna be really painful. If you're a man, ideally put it in between your pectoral muscles so that the mic is placed around 6 to 8 inches away from the mouth, and you're not even gonna see it in tight clothing because the groove those muscles create in the chest hide the actual microphone. And in addition to this, you need to account for sweat. If you record someone static on a chair or a similar shot like this one, where I'm talking to a camera with relatively little to no movement, then it's likely to be okay. I'm not sweating that much at all. But if you're moving, you're out and about, you're cycling, anything that requires movement, you are going to sweat. And with sweat, any type stuck to your skin is gonna fall off. And in that case, you're only left with the option of attaching the mic to the clothing. And before you go like, nah, this is getting too complex, trust me, it's not. Now, I understand that professional sound recorders have a whole toolkit of clips and mounts that you can hide microphones even in your hair. And again, in a controlled environment where everything is rehearsed with different people dedicated to do just one job, one task, I can understand why someone can spend 50-20 minutes hiding a microphone. If you, on the other hand, are like me and don't have that time, because I personally don't want to spend half an hour dealing with hiding a microphone, what you need to do is to just stick the microphone to the collar of your shirt, just like I show you here. Trust me, this is gonna give you the best overall result, and you're gonna be able to move freely. Ideally, if you know that you're gonna be moving, you want to stick the wire inside the shirt and onto your skin so that it's not loose and potentially introducing some unwanted noise rustle into your recording. More often than not, in my case, I just stick the microphone to the collar of the shirt that I'm wearing and just roll the wire inside the pocket in my jeans. The secret here is that because you stick the microphone to the clothing and then the mic goes onto your skin, because of the weight of the microphone on the skin, the friction movement the microphone is exposed to is a lot less than if you were to attach the microphone to your skin and have the loose clothing rustling against it. If I was to record audio for someone and I have 1 minute to prep, I would probably try to stick the cable to the side of the person's torso. But if you are like me, doing a lot of run and gun type of filming, I have found that sticking the lavalier microphone to the inside of the collar gives me always good recorded audio. It's reliable, and you just can't see the microphone. You just need to make sure that the color of the shirt that you're wearing is of good quality and has some tension, because otherwise you're not gonna be able to stick the microphone nicely and things are gonna look a bit off. If you're a woman, on the other hand, things can be a bit easier because you can use your bra as the hiding place. You can either use the mic clip and clip it to the inside of your cleavage area or tape it with medical tape. Just try and keep it as centered as possible and you are good to go. You can also stick the microphone to the collar of a shirt if a bra is not an option, but that is something that you need to decide based on what it is that you're doing and the situation on the day. Ultimately, there are many different factors and elements that dictate how you can record good sound and where to place the microphone. And I just hope that I've given you enough to get started with a DJI microphone and a lavalier microphone if you have one. The problem with trying to learn all of this on YouTube is that it's disorganized. It can get repetitive, and don't get me wrong, it's possible, but it's gonna take a long time to do it. What if I was to tell you that you can cut through all of that and save yourself months and condense everything into just 14 days? That is 2 weeks where you're gonna be creating amazing looking videos for your YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, or general content creation. So if this is something interesting to you, I would love to see you inside. Click in the link below and I'll see you around.